So just a teeny bit about, because we're moving along right now.
Moving right along.
Busker Alley, which was a musical of the British film St. Martin's Lane. It had a very long road to Broadway,
yes,
and actually never got to Broadway due to Tommy Tune breaking his toe.
Right. Just
before, like, that's a reason to cancel the show.
He's the dancer.
He was the dancer. So, but I know this musical, which I saw when it was on the road with Tommy and Darcy Roberts, had a very large number of titles over the years.
Oh yes.
How many can you remember?
Oh my God! Now you see, offhand, let's see. We had Piccadilly. I remember that, and then we had let's see, Buskers was one, and Busker Alley. We had about 4. St. Martin's Lane we started with, but that was nobody would know that in America. So we had about 4 different titles.
Yeah, let's just run through a lot of stuff, but I enjoyed that musical.
It was a good musical.
And I will mention to you, they're doing it as part of the Musical Theater West staged reading series soon, so be sure to get down there and see that. Now, you know, it's just the way your projects live on. It's just with Mary Poppins for the stage now.
Yes.
Mary Poppins, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, Jungle Book, and Bedknobs and Broomsticks. It's just unbelievable the life that these things. There was a song in the movie of Mary Poppins, or you wrote it for Mary Poppins, and
right,
it also didn't get used, called the Chimpanzoo.
Oh yes.
So tell me about that.
Well, actually, there was a lot of sequences that were created and thought of, and there was one little moment where we decided that when the children meet Uncle Albert and they're all laughing and floating around in the air in that scene, and Edwin played Uncle Albert so beautifully, the children are getting a little bit out of hand, and Mary Poppins says, well, if you don't, you know, come back to reality here and stop clowning around, you can wind up in the chimpanzee. And they say, what's a chimpanzee? And she explains what the chimpanzee was. It's a place where the people are in the cages and the chimpanzees run the place and look at them and feed them peanuts and things like that. So it was a very cute little song called Chimpanzee. But I remember when we wrote it, we were very excited because it was all designed and ready to go and orchestrated. And it's the last minute Walt said, it's too frenetic in there. We have I Love to Laugh. That's enough. We don't need the other. And we just cut it. And for the good of the show, Walt was right. He was right. But I always loved the song. Yeah.
Well, I think we should hear the other song that had the word chim in it.
Oh.
You know, the one you won the Oscar for.
That's a nice parlay.
So if you would go play Chim for Chim for me.
On the rooftops of London,
a year ago I was with Richard, and he was being super complimentary about a song I'd written. And I jokingly said to him, we should write a song together, never thinking that such a thing could actually happen. But instead he said, well, write me a lyric, whatever you want, except not too dirty.
The first nudie musical.
Yeah.
I didn't want to lose my G rating, that's all.
My past haunts me, but his favorite song ever written is Dancing Dildos. I couldn't really come up with anything I liked that wasn't dirty, so I forgot about it until around Thanksgiving of last year, and Richard and his lovely wife were coming to my annual Christmas Eve bash, so I decided I would write the lyric and give it to him as a present that year at the party. And I wanted to write a lyric that I knew would speak to the kind of person Richard is, which is positive, fun, and filled with joy and life. And I did, please.
Came an octogenarian blush, you know that.
I know. I'm right there with you. And anyway, I finally came up with something I thought was okay, and I gave it to him, and he liked it. And a week later, he called on the phone and played me the tune he'd come up with, which I loved, of course. And then we worked together on it until we were happy. We just went back and forth, and he wrote a lyric here, and I fixed the music there, and we just, because that's the nature of the way this man collaborates, which is so much fun. And anyway, we thought it would be fun to close out our evening with our little new song, which is called Two Roads. And I'm happy to say the sheet music has just been published. I hope I don't have to refer to it tonight. It's available at kritzerland.com, should you choose to want it. So, Richard, shall we?
Yes, of course.
Once in a while, you gotta put on a smile. Even when things go wrong, there are always two roads you can travel on the highway of your life. One is smooth, one has gravel, one has happiness, one has strife. And though we can't be in control of the roll of the dice, if you can tote your load down the happy road, don't think twice. There are always two roads you can travel, and the choice is yours to make. If your life should unravel, then it's obvious which to take. Your destination's never clear to what's near to your heart, but if you try to live thinking positive, that's a start. If the road seems dubious, or it's too lugubrious, take the one salubrious for you to use. Smile away that gloomy frown, turn a sad day upside down. What might start as a ruse could end in good news. There are always two roads you can travel, leave the bumpy road behind. You're the judge, use your gavel, grief or happiness, how do you find? You gotta choose it, never lose it, that road that's open wide. And if you begin with a great big grin, you'll join my instrumental. Smile away that gloomy frown, turn a sad day upside never lose it. That road that's open wide.